大家好，我是菲菲老师。Welcome back to Mifi Chinese。今天我们学习第9课 Lesson 9. Okay, let's start. The title of this lesson is 我去买杯奶茶。我去买杯奶茶。奶茶，你们知道是什么吗？奶茶 bubble tea. Yes, 奶茶。奶 milk, right? And then 茶 is tea. So literally milk tea, 奶茶. Then it's the thing that we know, bubble tea. Okay, so as usual, let's see what we are learning for this lesson. Number 1, compare differences using 没有. So in lesson 8, we actually learned one word to mean comparison. Do you still remember what it is? 比, right? 比，我比你大, right? I'm older than you. 我比你大. Or you can say 我比你更大. 更 here is to mean a lot, much more. Okay, so this lesson we will learn another word 没有 to mean comparison. Okay, and then second one, the usage of verb 离. We'll talk about this later. And then we will learn another part of complements called complements of duration. Okay, very good. Now let's see the first text. Let's read it together. 儿子的裤子坏了，我们给他买条新的吧。好啊，你看这条黑色的怎么样？没有你上次买的那条好看。旁边那个男孩就穿了这样的裤子，我觉得很好看啊。儿子的个子没有他那么高，穿上就不会太好看。好吧，我们再去那边看看。Okay, so let's understand the text. Number 1, 王一雪为什么想给儿子买裤子 ？A. 儿子的裤子坏了。B. 儿子喜欢新裤子。C. 儿子明天过生日。Okay, second question. 刘明觉得哪条裤子好看 ？A. 黑色的裤子。B. 白色的裤子。C. 上次买的裤子。Okay, we can listen to the text again and you can make your choices. 儿子的裤子坏了，我们给他买条新的吧。好啊，你看这条黑色的怎么样？没有你上次买的那条好看。旁边那个男孩就穿了这样的裤子，我觉得很好看啊。儿子的个子没有他那么高，穿上就不会太好看。好吧，我们再去那边看看。Okay, what do you think? 王一雪 Why does she want to buy pants for her son? Why? 儿子的裤子坏了 right? 儿子的裤子坏了 A right? What about B? 儿子喜欢新裤子 What does it mean? 喜欢 like right? So it's like her son likes new pants. This is not mentioned, right? And then C, 儿子明天过生日 also not mentioned. 儿子明天 tomorrow is having his birthday tomorrow. Okay, 刘明觉得哪条裤子好看 Which one 刘明 think is better? 黑色、白色。黑色 is what? Black, right? 白色 white. The black one, the white one, and C 上次买的裤子。上次 is what? Last time, right? The pants that they bought last time. So let's see. Here 黑色 is mentioned, but 你看这黑色的怎么样 Asking how is it? And he says it's not as good as the one that you bought last time. Right? So this one is a bit tricky. We should actually choose C because eventually he thinks the one that they bought last time is better. Right? Okay, so A and C. Okay, now let's continue with the new words of this lesson. You can read after me. 坏，坏，旁边，旁边，男孩，男孩，这样，这样，个子，个子，那么，那么，高， 高。Okay, so first one, 坏, 坏. So here we have two meanings actually. Number one, you can use it to describe an object. If you say something is 坏, then you mean that something is broken. If you use it to describe a person, you mean this is a bad person. Right? For example, you can say 他不是一个坏人，坏人 bad person. So here you're using 坏 to describe a person, right? So bad person. 这个手机坏了，这个手机坏了。Here you're saying the phone is broken, like in the picture here. The phone is broken, right? So whenever you use it to describe a person, remember, it always means that it's a bad person. Whenever it's a object, you're saying that the object is broken. Also, not just broken, for example, you can say 苹果坏了. Right? You can also use it to describe food, fruits, right? Okay. Next word, 旁边, 旁边. First, let's see. 边, we know, right? 边, what does 边 mean? 边, it means side, side, right? So, 旁, 旁 is what? 旁. So, if you are here, then the place next to you, right here, it's 旁. Pang. So adjacent place, or you can just say some place that is right next to you, is right next to. So for example, 桌子旁边 next to the table, 他旁边 next to him. 医院旁边有家超市. How do we understand this sentence? There is a supermarket next to or close to the hospital. 上课的时候我坐在他旁边。上课的时候 in class, I sit next to him or close to him. Right? 旁边. Okay, next one. 男孩, 男孩. Nan is what? Actually, we learned this before. Nan, male, right? Nan, male. And then we have also learned 孩子. 孩子 means child. Child. So let's just put it together. 男孩子, 男孩, same. So here, R, again, optional. Optional, because R is more like a northern China accent. If you go to the south of China, you will hear people just say 男孩 or 男孩子 without R, right? But if you go to like Beijing or the northern part of China, you will hear people say 男孩, 男孩, R, the sound, right? 他是一个聪明的男孩。聪明 do you still remember? 聪明 smart, right? Or clever. 聪明 And then 这个男孩喜欢踢球。This boy likes to 踢球 is what? 踢球 play football. Right? So here, actually, the full version should be 踢足球, but it's okay that we omit this 踢球。这样这样 So first, 这 we learned, right? 这 what does it mean? 这 remember? 这 this, right? This. And then what about young? Maybe standing alone, you don't recognize it. But if we put it into 怎么样, into this word, probably you will see, right? 怎么样? How is it? How is it? How is something? So 这样 you can put it into 这样 It means like this, like this. For example, 你这样做不对。这样做 If you do it like this, it's not correct. Right? 这样做 Do it like this. 我喜欢这样的天气 I like weather like this. Right? 这样的 like this. Okay, so same logic. What about you want to say like that? Like that. Easy, right? You just say 那样那样 like that. Okay, next one. 个子 个子 it means 个子 height. Okay, so you can say 我的个子很高 My height is very tall, is very high. 爸爸的个子很高 So here, 个子 Another synonym, you can say 身高 they're the same. 身 is what? Body, right? Body. 高 tall. So in like if we separate these two words, 身 means body, 高 means tall, but the word together is the same as 个子 my height. Okay. Yeah. Like that. 那么 So earlier we say 那样 is like that. Right? So 那么 similar as 那样. So what is the difference between 那么 and 那样? 那么 you're more emphasizing the degree, the extent. 那样 you're more emphasizing the status. So let's understand this in an example. 他那么高is saying he is tall like that, but you're emphasizing he is so tall that he is tall like that. You're emphasizing the degree of how tall he is. 今天没有昨天那么热. Today is less hot than yesterday. How much less hot? Like that much. Right? So here you're emphasizing the degree. But 那样 status. So let's come back here. For example, 你那样说不对. If you say it like that, it's not correct. Like that, like how? How you say it? Like that, right? The way, right? The way of saying it, right? So even in English, it's both like that, but in Chinese, remember, you have to use different words to mean different meanings. So in a word, like that, if you're saying status, like that, the way of that, you have to say 那样. But if you're saying like that, the degree of something, which is like that much, you have to say 那样. Okay? Same as 这样 and 这么, same. Okay, let's continue. 高, we see it, right? 高 means tall. Here we can say 高. And then what about if someone is short? We can remember it in a pair, right? 高, the opposing word is I. Someone is very short. You say I. 他个子高，跑得也快。He's very tall and he run very fast. 跑得也快。的 right? Pay attention. The after the verb to mean the degree of this verb. 跑的 or the description of this word. So 跑得快. Okay. 爸爸比我高很多. Dad is a lot taller than me, right? 高. All right, so now let's see the language point of text 1. So again, it's also about comparative sentences. Let's say the definition first. In this lesson, we learned to use 没有 in comparative sentences to express the meaning of not as something as or inferior to. The basic structure is A 没有 B plus adjective. The adjective can be preceded by 这么 or 那么 to indicate that B has a higher degree. Okay, a bit confusing, right? Let's see. In previous lesson, we learned B, right? It means that A is more something than B. But what if we want to say A is less something than B, right? How can we say this in Chinese? So we use 没有. For example, 儿子的个子没有他那么高. How do we understand? First, we can delete 那么 and we can delete the 个子 right? Just like make the sentence as easy as possible. 儿子没有他高。儿子 is less tall than him. Right? That's the basic structure. That's it. 儿子 is less tall than him. What if you want to say 儿子 is taller than him? How do we change this? 儿子比他高 right? 儿子比他高 Okay, let's put it back into the original sentence. 儿子的个子 So here you're just saying that the height of 儿子 right? So 儿子的个子没有他那么高 Here we say the adjective can be preceded by 这么 or 那么 to indicate the degree. The degree. We just saw 那么 right? In here, 那么 like that. So here it means the degree, the extent, right? So 儿子的个子没有他那么高。儿子 is less tall than him. How much less? Like that, right? Like that. Okay. 昨天没有今天这么冷。Yesterday is less or a lot less cold than today, right? 这块手表没有那块好看。This watch is less like better looking than that, right? The second and third sentence, if we want to change it into more, right, how do we do it? How do we do it? Just replace 没有 with 比 right? 昨天比今天 but we say that in the sentence of 比 to show the extent, to show the degree, we have to use 更 right? Or 还 So 昨天比今天还冷 or 昨天比今天更冷 And this one 这块手表比那块好看 And you can also add, of course, the degree 更 or 还好看 Okay, so did you get it? Now let's see the affirmative form of 没有, which is 有, is often used in interrogative sentences to indicate comparison. What does it mean? For example, 妹妹有姐姐高吗? How do we understand? Is younger sister is younger sister taller than older sister, right? You are asking about a comparison. Is she taller than her, right? Is younger sister taller than older sister? 那件衣服有这件好看吗? Is that cloth as good as this one or better than this one, right? So here, if you use 有, you actually can be both. It can be as as good as or more. So if you use 有, both of these are correct. But if you use 比, because here you can also use 比, 妹妹比姐姐高吗? You are saying more. Is younger sister taller? So here, if you say 有, could also be as tall as. So 那件衣服比这件好看吗? If you use 比, then you're asking, is it better? But if you use 有, could be both. Could be as good as this one or better than this one, right? Okay, so this is how to ask questions about comparison. Now, let's continue. After learning comparative sentences part 3, please fill in the blanks using what you've learned. There is no absolute right or wrong answer. Just make a sentence that makes sense and use comparison here, right? You can pause the video, and after you get it, you can resume. Okay, let's see it together. 我女儿今年6岁多了，你儿子几岁了？4岁多。 没有 What can we put in the blank here? 没有你儿子大。Right. So, sorry, 没有你女儿 because she was talking about 女儿。My daughter is more than 6 years old today. How about your son? He is 4 years old, not older than your daughter, right? Less older than your daughter. 没有你女儿大。这件黑色的衣服好看吗？好看，但 So, is this black cloth good looking? Yes, it is. But 没有白色的好看 but is not as good as the white one. So let's just get the white one. 还是买那件白色的吧。今天没有昨天那么热吗？ So is today not as hot as yesterday? No, 没有. I think yesterday is hotter. Right? Did you get it? Okay. If you have any further questions about this language point, you can post your questions in the comment section. Okay. And then next, let's see the second text of lesson 9. Let's read it together. 门口有家奶茶店，你想喝杯奶茶吗？我想喝咖啡，还是去咖啡店吧？咖啡店离这儿有点远，没关系，那家店的咖啡很好喝。那你等一下，我去买杯奶茶。你不想喝咖啡吗？喝了咖啡，晚上就别想睡觉了。Okay, let's see. Number 1, 王一雪想喝什么 What does she want to drink? A. 牛奶 B. 奶茶 C. 咖啡 Number 2, 刘明现在想去哪儿 A. 家里 B. 奶茶店 C. 咖啡店Okay, let's hear it again. 门口有家奶茶店，你想喝杯奶茶吗？我想喝咖啡，还是去咖啡店吧？咖啡店离这儿有点远，没关系，那家店的咖啡很好喝。那你等一下，我去买杯奶茶。你不想喝咖啡吗？喝了咖啡，晚上就别想睡觉了。Okay, so 王一雪想喝什么 What does she want to drink? 门口有家奶茶店，你想喝杯奶茶吗 So she wants to drink 奶茶 B. A. 牛奶 牛奶 is what? Milk, right? What about C? 咖啡 Coffee, right? So even if we haven't learned this before, but it's coffee. You can get it from the pronunciation. 咖啡 it's coffee. It's one example of the words that in Chinese, but is directly translated based on pronunciation from English. There are other examples. For example, can you guess what is 沙发? 沙发. Yes, sofa. Can you guess what is 可口? Can you guess what is 可口可乐? Hint, it's a drink. 可口可乐. It's Coca-Cola. Yeah, so there are actually a lot of words in Chinese that is translated like this. Okay, 刘明现在想去哪儿? Where does he want to go now? So 我想喝咖啡还是去咖啡店吧 So he wants to go to the 咖啡店 coffee shop. We say that 店 means shop, right? You can put it after the object. It means that the shop that is selling that thing. 奶茶店 bubble tea shop. 咖啡店 coffee shop. 家里 at home. So we choose B and C. 奶茶 and 咖啡店. All right, next let's see the new words. 门口咖啡离 Okay, 门口 门 is what? 门 is actually door. It's a really easy character because it looks like a door, right? It's very like a square, so it's like a 门 door. 口 we learned it before. 口 means mouth, right? So 口 is actually also have the meaning of entrance or entrance, a pathway that a pathway where you can exit or you can enter, right? So 门口 the doorway or the entrance. 我们在门口见面吧. Let's meet at the entrance. 门口. So it can mean entrance, but actually it could also mean the exit. It doesn't necessarily mean only the entrance. If it is both the entrance and exit, you mean that place, right? So you don't just mean entrance. If you want to mean just entrance, normally we would say 入口 And if you want to only say the exit, it's 出口 So 门口 is more like doorway. It can be both entrance and exit. So 我们在门口见面吧. Let's meet at the doorway or the outside the entrance, right? 学校门口有一棵树. There is a tree. 学校门口 at the gate. Here, because 学校 normally they have a big gate, right? So here when you say the 门口 of a 学校, you don't mean like just a doorway, just like a small doorway. It could also mean the gate, the big parts of 学校, 医院, hospital, of places that are bigger with a big gate, right? You can also use 门口. Okay, next one, 咖啡. We talked about it earlier, right? Coffee. 喝咖啡, drink coffee. 一杯咖啡, the measure word, 杯, a cup. 他喜欢每天早上喝一杯咖啡. He likes to drink a cup of coffee every morning. 你喝不喝咖啡? Do you want to drink coffee? Do you drink or not? 咖啡. Okay, next one. 离. This is actually language point of this lesson, so let's see it in detail. The verb 离 is used to indicate spatial or temporal distance. The basic structure is A 离 B and then plus the distance. Yes. So for example, 咖啡店离这儿有点远. So 咖啡店 is our A word. And then plus 离, right? And then 这儿 is our B word. 咖啡店 place A. 这儿 here place B. And then what about the distance? The distance is 远, which is far. But here you just make a description, right? 有点, a little bit far. So you want to say that the coffee shop is a little bit far from here, right? And then let's see another one. 学校离医院不远. 学校 the A word plus 离 plus 医院 the B word, not far, right? 学校离医院不远. The school is not far from the hospital. So here, the two examples are both just close or far, but you can also plus a specific distance. So for example, you can say 300米. What is 300米? 300, 米 meters. So 学校离医院300米. So 学校 is 300 meters from the hospital, right? Okay, so these two examples are the spatial distance, but we can also use it to mean temporal distance. For example, 现在. So 现在 is the time A plus 离 plus time B, which is my birthday is time B. 还有3天. There are still 3 days from now to my birthday, right? So here's 还有3天, 3 days is a specific time period, but also you can use 很近, right? It's really close to my birthday from now, right? Okay, so this is how we use 离 To mean spatial or temporal distance. Now you can try to make your own sentences, right? Okay, so that is everything about part 1 of lesson 9. As you know, my mission is to make this HSK marathon project free and accessible for everyone. So if you found value in my videos and truly want to master what you've learned today, the best way is to pick up my ultimate HSK companion workbook. I've designed it following 4 scientifically efficient steps: active recall for vocabularies, formula blocks for grammar, a smart writing section to break down characters for you, and most importantly, high-quality practice questions with detailed explanations to give you instant breakthrough. Grab your copy from the description below. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next lesson.